Runaway 2.
Cześć, witam Was w kolejnym odcinku serii Zagrajmy w Runaway 2 Sen Żółwia. Poprzedni odcinek skończyliśmy sobie właśnie w tym miejscu i to, co będziemy chcieli teraz zrobić, to porozmawiać z Joshuą na temat tego, że tylko surowy łosoś może przywrócić mu pamięć, no i oczywiście musimy namówić go do zjedzenia surowej ryby.
He is like totally out of it. I'll have to find some way to make him come to. Maybe a good slap would do the trick. Joshua, wake up!
No, Mommy. Please let me sleep 5 more minutes, please. I was dreaming I was a super friend, and I was eating berries in the mountains of Alaska with Dorothy and Toto. It was so beautiful.
You have to remember that password, Joshua!
But I already told you the password, and I know it was the right one because Auntie M said so. You have to let me in. Plus, that treehouse is mine. And if you put your dirty mitts on my Space 1999 trading cards, you'll feel my wrath.
Man, your zipper's open. I can see your Woody.
Daddy, no. I didn't kill little Woody. I swear. He flew into the path of my self-propelled intergalactic rocket on purpose. To break it. That woodpecker hated me, Daddy. The other day, he started pecking away while I tried to study for my math test. Now he screwed up my science project. I hope he's happy now, cause he did. I'm going to flunk science for the first time in kindergarten.
Joshua, it's me, Brian, your friend.
Nice to meet you, Brian. I bet you don't know what that name means. Well, I don't have a clue either. By the way, my name is Joshua, which means liberation. Boggles the mind, huh? You don't know how much love I feel inside.
Trantor's been destroyed by a huge meteor.
No! Say it isn't true!
Yeah, and the berries contain trantonite, which took away your superpowers.
Brian, what you are saying is scientifically impossible. So stop making things up. While I am flattered that you think I have superpowers, you must be wrong. My superior smarts weren't created by any supernatural device. They're just due to the bubbling mix of supercharged genes that gave me an extra-large brain. Now, I won't deny that Tranto has sublimated my ripped mental muscles, but I've been a genius since I was a kid. Pretty cool stuff, huh? You know I built a rocket that pierced through the Earth's stratosphere when I was only 8? Well, it would have anyway, if it hadn't been for that fine-feathered kamikaze. Stupid air rat.
Sorry, Joshua, I was just kidding. Actually, the government expropriated it and demolished it to build an intergalactic freeway.
Oh, the cruelty, Brian. That is not funny.
Okay, so I was lying. The truth is that Trantor was chosen worst dressed planet of the millennium, but I didn't know how to tell you.
But where do those 2-bit critics get their taste? For your information, Trantor has been exporting its stylish garments to hundreds of planets, including Earth. Who do you think designed Boney M's outfits anyway? And what about the Power Rangers? The human species would still be wearing loincloths if it weren't for Trantorian designers, I'm telling ya.
Nothing's happened to Trantor. You just need to eat some raw salmon to remember the password.
Raw salmon? A lunatic wouldn't eat that.
You have to do it. It's completely necessary.
Well, guess what? I'm not gonna.
Not even with some W ketchup and freedom fries?
Yuck! I can't stand ketchup. What I really like doesn't go with salmon. I'm more of a fiend for chocolate, shakes, vanilla ice cream, donuts, peanut butter, apple pie, maple syrup, caramel smoothies.
Is there no way to convince you?
No, Brian. I am a civilized person. A decent Tranto-Japanese American. And I don't eat raw animals. You think I'm some sort of polar bear?
What did you say you are? A Tranto what?
Tranto-Japanese American. A resident of Trantor. Of Japanese origin. Born in the United States. Quite a mix, isn't it?
Japanese? So you do have some Japanese blood in you?
Of course, what do you think? My ancestors were samurais. I believe my grandpa's the one who came to the States, but I haven't really studied the family tree.
Well, if you're Japanese, whatever, you must love sushi, right?
Oh, hi, Brianson. Mackerel, tuna, halibut, octopus. It's almost the only gourmet food I enjoy, besides desserts.
What about salmon? Do you dig salmon sushi?
Well, if there's nothing else swimming around, yeah, I'll eat it with pleasure. By the way, did I mention I'm dying of starvation?
I'll get you a salmon, or my name's not Brian. Don't you worry, you'll be getting ready for the most delicious plate of sushi you've ever had, in a jiffy.
Oh, dear Brian, we geniuses don't cook. If nobody's around to make our meals, we just order out for pizza or bite our nails. But under no circumstances would we waste any time on something as mundane as cooking.
Wow, he was hard to convince, but this is better than nothing. I have no choice but to look for someone who will teach me to make salmon sushi.
Dobra, Joshua zgodził się na zjedzenie sushi. Teraz pozostaje nam już tylko nauczyć się, jak należy sushi zrobić. I myślę, że tutaj na początek udamy się po prostu do Bena, licząc na to, że udzieli nam jakichś wskazówek. Tak więc zapytajmy go, poprośmy go o pomoc, być może uda nam się wyciągnąć od niego jakieś wartościowe informacje. Tak więc przekonajmy się.
Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
Od razu przejdziemy do rzeczy i po prostu tutaj bez zbędnego rozgadywania się zapytamy od razu, jak się robi sushi.
You wouldn't happen to know how to make sushi, would you?
Well, as you guessed, I don't know how. And go figure, because I've been to Japan a couple of times, but I know nothing beyond traditional cooking. In steak with mashed potatoes, I have eyes for nothing more.
And I'm assuming you don't have a book with the recipe for salmon sushi?
For sushi? Not as I recall. But if you want, I have a great one for grilled salmon. I could win the Iron Chef with that recipe, especially if the salmon's fresh.
Do you know anyone in this area who knows how to make it?
If anyone would know about that, it's Professor Simon's cook. I think he's from China, somewhere around there. But today is his day off, so I doubt you'll find him around. Well, then there's Archibald, but if I were you, I wouldn't want to meet him.
Archibald? Who's that?
Some say he's either Bigfoot, a serial killer, a 200-pound gremlin, or a war criminal. People say the darndest things. Satch, the pizza guy from Sicily, says he saw him a short while back. He was coming to deliver some pizzas to me when he heard a noise in the back of his pickup. When he got out, he saw a running shadow and chased it until he lost sight of it. When he returned to the pickup, they'd stolen the pizzas and opened up the engine. He couldn't get the pickup started, so he had to leave it around here somewhere. He's sure it was Archibald, but actually it could have been anybody.
Do you know what Archibald looks like?
The last thing I heard is he's 6'7", has a flat head, green skin, and a body full of scars.
Do you have any idea how I can find him?
No, pal. You don't find Archibald. He finds you. You may be asking yourself, why is Ben saying that? Well, because that's what happened to me. Not once, but twice.
So, you say you've seen Archibald?
No, amigo. I didn't tell you I had seen him, but that I'd been with him. As for seeing him the way I see you now, never.
What happened the first time you met Archibald?
The first time? Oh yeah, it was Christmas Eve. I picked up my guitar, went out on the balcony, sipped down a mug of beer, and started singing A Christmas Carol. I hadn't finished the first bar when I felt a sharp object in my back, as a whispering voice told me,
John Lennon sang Christmas carols much better than you, and look where he ended up. Your end may be much more cruel
and imaginative. I stopped playing and asked, You're Archibald, aren't you? But there was nobody there.
What happened the second time he found you?
I was sitting here having a beer when I recognized his voice.
I'm going to give you some emergency anesthesia. If you move, I'll leave you dumber than you are now.
I felt something hit my head, and I fell to the floor. When I woke up, I saw I'd been blindfolded. Well, actually, I didn't see it, but you get my drift. I said, Where am I? Who are you? What do you want from me? I thought my kidnapper was a competing bear scientist, so I yelled, "You'll never get me to tell you my theory, no matter how hard you torture me." But that wasn't the deal. He said his name was Archibald, and that he was a chef. He just invented a tarantula venom salsa, and he wanted to experiment with me to see if the venom was still poisonous after being boiled. Thank goodness it wasn't. But it was quite a laxative.
You have no clue about where his house is?
Well, no. I've scoured the area many times, but I can't ever seem to find it. I'm starting to suspect he lives in a hole, like a bunny rabbit.
Well, let's stop talking about Archibald for now.
As you wish, but don't ever call him Archie. He gets mad with rage.
Tak, tutaj Ben udzielił nam dość sporej dawki informacji. Musimy odnaleźć niejakiego Archibalda, tak więc pożegnajmy się teraz z Benem.
Forget it. Get back to your work.
Okay.
Dobra, przejdźmy sobie teraz w tym kierunku.
Yeah, I'll take a look over there. Wow, I've never seen a completely frozen river before. I'll try not to walk across it just in case the ice breaks.
Mamy tutaj dosyć ciekawą lokację. Zwróćcie uwagę, że po lewej stronie jest wieża, czy też chatka Bena. Natomiast wyżej, na wzgórzu, mamy posiadłość profesora. Tutaj zaś mamy zamarzniętą rzekę i kiedy pójdziemy sobie w jej kierunku, to zwróćcie uwagę, że przez rzekę przerzucony jest jakiś konar, czy też kładka. Spójrzmy sobie na to.
Someone must have put it there to cross the river. Doesn't look like there's anything interesting on the other side, though.
Brian twierdzi, że po drugiej stronie rzeki nie ma nic interesującego, tak więc udajmy się teraz do chatki Bena.
That must be the cabin that Wazowski was talking about. I'll go take a look.
Tutaj w zasadzie można powiedzieć, że jest to bardziej wieża obserwacyjna Bena niż jego chatka, no ale nic, podejdziemy sobie bliżej, zobaczymy co uda nam się znaleźć w środku. Tutaj myślę, że od razu wejdziemy sobie na górę, dookoła jeszcze nie widzę nic interesującego, tak więc wejdźmy sobie teraz do środka i przekonajmy się co się tam znajduje.
I'll just take a quick glance inside. It'd be better to leave the trapdoor open. Well, so this is what Wazowski's hidden den is like. Let's see what we can find around here.
Na początku się troszeczkę rozejrzymy, a dokładniej spojrzymy sobie na tą niebieską tablicę w lewym górnym rogu ekranu. Przyjrzyjmy się. I w tym miejscu pojawia nam się ciekawostka numer 17, mianowicie emblemat z napisem Nunca Mais, co z hiszpańskiego oznacza nigdy więcej. Jest symbolem hiszpańskiego ruchu społecznego o tej samej nazwie, który domaga się uznania katastrofy tankowca Prestige u wybrzeży tamtejszej Galicji w 2002 roku za klęskę ekologiczną i bezzwłocznego uruchomienia odpowiednich programów pomocowych. W 2006 roku ruch reaktywował się pod hasłem solidarnej walki z pożarami pustoszącymi galicyjskie lasy. No ale dobrze, teraz już wracamy sobie do rozgrywki. Na podłodze leży książka. Jest to dosyć interesujący przedmiot, tak więc spójrzmy na niego.
Let's see if it's about something interesting. Workplace harassment, stress, and associated disorders in polar bear cubs between the ages of 6 to 8 months with small deformities on the lower left limb by Benjamin M. Wazowski. Sounds like a bestseller.
Tak, musicie przyznać, że jest to dosyć osobliwe, natomiast teraz skoncentrujemy się na itemach kluczowych do dalszej rozgrywki i w tym celu na początek weźmiemy sobie kij hokejowy.
Sure, I bet I can use it somewhere. It's as good as new. I'll try not to wreck it.
Następnie zabierzemy sobie piłę spalinową.
I don't know. It might be a little heavy, and I'm starting to get tired of hauling junk all over the place. Though, on the other hand, this is one of those pieces of junk that could save my day at some point. Anyway, by lifting a bunch of junk like this, I won't need to join a gym. Wow, man. As far as I can see, the fuel gauge is at 0. Well, I'll grab the thing. After all that effort to get it into my pocket.
Teraz obejrzymy sobie te dziwne butelki stojące na półce. Spójrzmy.
Those look like perfume bottles.
Newborn bear essence, pheromones of she-bear and heat, Republican bear extract.
They appear to be the essences that Wazowski was talking about.
W butelkach znajdują się niedźwiedzie esencje, tak więc weźmy sobie jedną.
Now, don't take this the wrong way, but I bet some she bear and heat pheromones could come in handy. I'll have to make sure not to spill a single solitary drop. Smelling like that goop with wild bears roaming around is the last thing I need.
Na drzwiach wisi mata bambusowa. Naturalnie będzie nam ona niezbędna do przygotowania sushi, tak więc zabierzmy ją.
I don't think it'd be of any use. But what the heck? This isn't the first time I take something without knowing what I want it for. It'll be easier to carry if I roll it up.
No i cóż, teraz pozostaje nam już tylko odnalezienie Archibalda. Tutaj musimy skorzystać ze wskazówki, którą dał nam Ben. Mianowicie powiedział nam on, że jego pierwsze spotkanie z Archibaldem było na skutek tego, że w święta grał sobie na balkonie jakąś kolędę na gitarze. Tak więc myślę, że my tutaj odtworzymy sobie tą sytuację i zobaczymy, co się wydarzy.
Man, that's a great idea. If I play the right song, maybe I can get that Archibald guy to show up. The only holdup is that I have no idea how to play, but hey, it can't hurt to try. I'll step outside so I can be heard better. The light from this lamp will come in handy. Here we go.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a one-horse open sleigh? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a one-horse open sleigh?
Hey, you! Darn. Wait for me.
That's too bad. His nose didn't even bleed.
I w tym miejscu zrobimy sobie cięcie, ponieważ pojawia się kolejna w tej grze ciekawostka. Jest to już ciekawostka numer 18. Tym razem dotyczy ona postaci Archibalda, bowiem Archibald jest całkowicie inspirowany postacią Adama z serialu komediowego Przystanek Alaska. Był to właśnie taki arogancki, mieszkający w lesie mistrz kuchni, który właśnie pojawił się też i w Runawayu. Tak więc teraz już wrócimy sobie do rozgrywki i zobaczymy, jak ta postać się prezentuje.
Can you tell me why you just tried to do me bodily harm? Forget it. I don't feel like arguing. You must be Archibald from what I've heard.
Well, you must be a moron. And from what I've heard, a worse guitar player than your father.
So, how is it you met my father?
From hearing him play on that very balcony there. Or isn't your pop that bird brain with the bears?
No, I believe you're mistaken. Wazowski's not my dad.
I'd swear you guys were family. I find it hard to believe backward evolution is widespread among humans.
Hey, he doesn't look like...
The same ape-like expression on your face, the same lack of musical knowledge, and bad taste from the look of your clothing. No, there are just too many coincidences.
Listen, Archibald, I'm warning you that...
All right then, let's look at it from a more entertaining perspective. I know a game called Give Me One Reason Why You Shouldn't Die at This Very Moment. You'd like it. The end's supposed to be a killer.
Już widać, że nasz boss znajomy będzie nam robił pewne problemy. Jest naprawdę arogancki niczym postać z serialu. No ale nic, porozmawiajmy z nim.
You have to help me. My friend got sick from some wild berries, and you're the only one who can whip up the antidote.
You got the wrong idea about me, mister. Even though I'm smarter than most of them, I'm not a doctor.
I've heard you're a whiz in the kitchen.
Mister, I am much, much more than that.
Where'd you learn to cook?
By cooking. How else do you think people learn? But of course, I studied at the finest schools in Paris with the greatest chefs. All I can say is, though, they learn more from me than me from them.
You must have worked in the finest restaurants, I'm sure.
Yes, all the ones they won't let the likes of you into. But I grew tired of half-baked cooks stealing my recipes and using them to get the best reviews in the Guide Michelin.
The truth is, looking at you here, it's hard to picture you in a white apron and a chef's hat.
Hey kid, I can easily picture you in a shroud lying in your coffin.
Anyway, getting back to what I was saying...
Good lord, what an annoying person. If I'd known, I would have acted like a sane individual and made you swallow that bleach.
I need you to tell me how to make sushi.
I don't have to explain anything to you. Did you explain to me about the expired syrup they gave you when you were born?
Do you know Professor Simon?
The best thing I can say about him is I hardly know him. He doesn't bother me with nonsense, and he doesn't make a bunch of noise with a guitar. The guy is nice and quiet in his mansion. Doesn't bug anyone or show his face. Now that I think about it, I kinda like him.
I have money. If you help me out, I'll pay whatever you want.
Well, obviously there had to be something good about you. But I'm warning you, I don't come cheap. And I don't work for scraps.
Are you sure you can't teach me to make sushi?
I've mastered the art of cuisine, but I hate the world of education. You want to learn a trade, commit a crime, and sign up for a vocational course in prison. When they let you out, you'll know something useful other than fishing soap chips out of urinals, and you'll no longer be a parasite to society.
You charge that much for your services?
Price is a relative concept, kid. It depends who asks me, what they want, when they need it, and more than anything, what side of the bed I woke up on.
Are you familiar with making salmon sushi?
Does the Pope pray? Kid, you stand before the former chef of Japan's Imperial Palace, the man who introduced the West to sushi, tempura, and sake. And if that's the dish you want, it won't cost you a cent.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, because I can refuse to make it for you. I only work my cooking magic when I'm given each and every one of the proper ingredients, and I'm missing some essentials for sushi.
What ingredients go in sushi?
I don't see why I should tell you, but okay. It contains rice, nori algae, soy sauce, wasabi, ginger, a touch of sugar, a dash of salt, and in this case, salmon.
Which ingredients are you missing?
The salmon to start with, the nori, the wasabi. No, I guess I could achieve a similar effect if I mixed Dijon mustard with apple vinegar and some mint toothpaste. I think I have some soy sauce and ginger around here, so that would be it. Well, I don't have any chopsticks either, or a bamboo mat for rolling up the maki sushi.
I'm not 100% sure of all the ingredients that you're missing, but I could try to find them somewhere around here.
You don't know what the salmon, nori, chopsticks, and bamboo mat look like? Your lack of culinary culture is at par with your IQ. Look around if you want, but I doubt you'll find them all.
Getting back to what you were saying,
You really like to analyze things in depth.
if we were to get all the ingredients, how much would you charge me to make one dish of sushi?
That depends, kid. How much have you got?
My first thought is I have nothing. Will that be enough? Hey, did you hear me? I said I don't have anything on me.
If you have nothing to offer, I have nothing to say, and of course nothing to make for you. Can't you get that into your head?
Well, I do have a state-of-the-art cell phone with a 3CCD camera. It also hooks up to the net by WAP, has an MP3 player, a hairdryer, a GPS tracker, and a C3PO universal translator.
A phone? Who would I want to talk to? Plus, the cameras in cell phones can be activated by remote control, and the CIA guys are no dummies. I'd rather keep an eye on you, just in case one day your idiocy grows to dangerous levels.
It's not about what I have on me, but rather what you'll be taking away with you. I will make you the recipient of my eternal gratitude, my lifelong friendship, and my unconditional love.
Save it for when you try to hook up at AA or the Salvation Army or wherever you end up rotting. I only want money, or you can take your god-awful music elsewhere.
I think I've got about $1,000. Is 50 okay?
No, 1,000 will do for me. It's a done deal, kid. You get the salmon, the mat for rolling up the sushi, the chopsticks, and the algae. And I'll take care of the rest.
Are you ready? My questions are somewhat personal.
Well, in that case, we could start playing our old game again, but backward. Every time you open your mouth, you give me another reason to feel sorry for your pathetic self and put an end to your sorry, meaningless existence. Considering the vegetative state of your brain, it would be a true act of euthanasia.
Are you barefoot because you don't own any shoes? Or did you make some sort of vow?
Is that what you think? Well then, let's just say I made a promise never to reveal why I go barefoot. Go figure that one out, kid.
It looks like your shower isn't working right. Or your washing machine, for that matter.
You're calling me a pig, aren't you? Well, get over it. I smell like myself, like a human being. In other words, what I'm supposed to smell like. If I'm not mistaken, you smell like body milk, shaving mousse, aloe vera gel, conditioner, artificial aromas B303, F507, and H452, along with any perfume made from camel's sweat that happens to be in fashion. Conclusion, the only dirty pig here is you, and you spent a fortune to get that way on top of it.
Wazowski says you hit him, blindfolded him, and gave him tarantula venom.
Wazowski is an imbecile. He was so drunk he fell down the stairs in his own house, so I threw him over my shoulder and dragged him back up. I put a wet rag on his forehead and eyes to lower his fever, but the guy started to get delirious and spewed a bunch of nonsense about his theory on bears. Then I made him a nice broth out of Terra Brachula, a harmless brachiopod, and left him sleeping. The rest is a product of his moronic imagination.
Do you know Wazowski's theory about why bears scratch themselves?
I'm not just familiar with it. The theory is actually mine. I'm the one who discovered that female bears in heat scratch birch trees to get the sap out. It's as sweet as honey and can be used to make syrup. I noticed that right afterward, they rub their back against the tree to get all covered in it. Then a bear comes along, smells her back, gets on top of her to enjoy the delicacy, and well, nature takes care of the rest. But I don't care about Wazowski stealing the theory from me. I'm used to that kind of thing. Plus, the poor devil has to get some kind of enjoyment.
I think we should talk about more important things, Archibald.
I shudder to think what type of things are important to you.
Thanks, Archibald. I'll be seeing you.
That's a true threat, coming from you.
But how will I find you?
Just whistle, if you know how. But
Thanks.
you better not bother me without a good reason.
This feels like one of those old movies. If I whistle, he'll come running. What a nut! Great. The important thing is to focus on getting the ingredients this guy needs to make the sushi for me. It's occurred to me that, yes, I bet I can use that Chinese sign I grabbed at Wazowski's as a makeshift mat. What a relief. One less thing to worry about. And this leaf I picked up for Rutger could be used as nori. It's always nice to know you've got half the things you need without moving a finger.
Trochę czasu nam zabrały te wszystkie konwersacje. Było tego dzisiaj naprawdę dużo. Teraz pozostaje nam już tylko odnaleźć 2 brakujące składniki do wykonania sushi. Natomiast myślę, że to już zrobimy sobie w ramach kolejnego odcinka. Na dziś to będzie już tyle. Mam nadzieję, że Wam się podobało i oczywiście zapraszam Was do kolejnego odcinka, a tymczasem żegnam się już z Wami, tak więc trzymajcie się. Hej!